welcome to another video. So today we're going to be doing something completely different from what I normally do. And this is, we're going to do a little bit of sewing. Oh boy. So, I have everything laid out of all the things that I want to use. And, okay, we'll just get to that later. So, first things first, what am I going to be making? Good question. This thing. So it's, I don't really know what it is. It's cross between like a Mewtwo and a kangaroo. Yeah. So you can see it has like hind legs, and a very long kind of thick tail. And it even has a bell at the end. And then, you know, it has the kangaroo arms. They had to be bigger than this. I just accidentally drew it that size. But it also has like little fangs, blue eyes, that kind of thing. Nothing too crazy. And then on the back, I went ahead and made kind of like a sketch of all the pieces and got them labeled. So I'm curious how the head's gonna turn out based on like what I drew. So that's a mystery. Yeah. So you can see everything that I laid out here. I have my sketch, and then this thing. Okay, so this is just tissue paper that you use to stuff gifts with. Because whenever I was a little bit younger, we'd always have this like weird paper that was kind of like this, but it was made specially to trace over. So, you know, you can have my paper under this, lay it on top, and then you can see right through it. And then you draw and cut it out. That's, you know, I had that, but I got rid of it, of course. So I got that. And then I have a Sharpie so I can trace it on the fabric. And then a pencil to trace and whatnot. And then I have some thick wire. It's like a 20 gauge or whatever. I hope this is thick enough based on the toy that I'm making. But basically I want to have wiring in the tail and in the arm so that you can like move it around. Yep, I also have pins. Here we go. And then I have the little bell that I'm going to be attaching onto it. And then this is where I went a little insane. My friend gave me a little packet of shark teeth. So I'm using two that look pretty identical, and I'm going to use them as the fangs. So this puppy's going to have real teeth. And then I have the sewing machine all hooked up out of frame, ready to go. So first thing I did was make sure that the fabric was already turned inside out, and I did a test run on it to make sure that it's good. Sewing machine works. Yippee. So the very first step I'm going to be taking is I'm going to flip this over here, and then I'm going to trace all of these patterns onto this, cut them out, and then trace them all on the fabric, and then cut them out. But yeah, I'll just explain that after. Okay, so now that you know what I'm going to do, I'm going to speed this process along so you can see it in action. Let's go! Alright, now that I got all of them cut out and pinned together, I'm gonna start with all the limbs, sewing them together, flipping them inside out, and then stuffing them, and then finishing them off. And then I'm gonna do the very last, which should be the body, so that I can start like putting things together as I'm kind of sewing it, I think. I don't really know how I'm gonna do it, but yeah. Or I think I'm gonna have all the limbs put together before I start stuffing the body, you know? So yeah. Not sure how this might gonna go, because first off, these are some tiny pieces to a sewing machine, and yeah, this would be tiny. But yeah, let's just see how it goes. So since the machine is over on the side where you can't really see it, I'm just gonna cut it out. Yeah. Whoop-de-doo. So, see you guys in a little bit. Hey, April Fools! I'm not actually going to be using the sewing machine. You know why? Because these are too small. I barely managed to do the legs. So, I'm going to be switching it to hand sewing. Except maybe for, like, the body part, because I think that just, like, you know. I feel like that might work with the sewing machine, but that's for a later date. Anyways, I have to tell you guys what I'm going to be doing, because this requires a few different techniques and whatever. So you could see here this crazy assortment. This is the arm right now, and basically on the plans, it was going to have some kind of wire in the arm, beginning past the shoulder and going all the way to the hand. So it's just basically like the forearm and the elbow, you know, so you can move it back and forth. So what I did was, whenever I drew the arm, I drew a flap that comes out, sewed the end of the flap, then I put the wire in and sewed it closed. So now, hopefully, whenever I go all the way around and sew it almost completely closed, I will be able to flip it inside out clean, you know. So, yeah. And that's kind of the same with the tail. I made a flap here. You can barely see it because it's really rough, but it's there, so that I can do the same purpose, which is close the wire in its own area. Because I don't know if you've ever like had any toys where there's a wire in it and you bend the wire, but the toy doesn't move because of how much space it has. The wire's bent, but the toy isn't. So by like kind of sewing it on to the fabric, it will like hopefully bend it easier and whatever. And then here I have on a little shish kebab is all the toes. So basically they are way too tiny to just sew and flip around and stuff them. So what I'm going to try is maybe even make them bigger, so that I can, around the edges, just go in and out, and then pull the string so it kind of closes, kind of like a bag and whatnot, so I can put stuffing in it and then tie it onto the feet. But again, I might even have to make these more bigger, and we'll just see how it comes and goes. So yeah. So now you guys can actually watch and see what happens. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, so let's take a moment and recap because it's been quite a few months. Period, question mark? I don't know, I wasn't keeping track. Basically we didn't get a lot done. So we got the legs finished, we got the head mostly done, we still have to work on the body, and both arms should be trashed. So the head is probably one of the best out of it, probably because like it's the cleanest without like all this marker residue on it, and also like the way it's shaped. I think it came out really well. You see I already got the teeth in there, it's stuffed. I just need to like hot glue the eyeballs and we're good with the head. The legs, they need to be finished stuffed and then cleaned because like the marker kind of rubbed off on them from like all the rubbing. And then the arms just need to be trashed. Yeah, the first one I trashed, I forget why, but I think it was because it had like a bunch of holes in it. And this one, like the way that the hand's on it, I'm just gonna make the arm and then have the hand with it instead of having two separate pieces. I think that'd be better. And then like the metal wire in it is actually a good function. I like that, you know? So again, I'll put the wire in both the arms and then eventually in the tail. Yeah, you see like the body, it's probably like that much, and then the rest is the tail. So yeah, I just need to figure out like which side is which. I think that's it. Like this is the top half of the body and then that's the tail. So yeah, that's my recap. I don't remember what I said last, but I think basically I'm gonna have all of these pieces stuffed before. Okay, so okay, so all these body parts right here, they're all gonna be stuffed, but they're all gonna be open. So like here, it's gonna be open, you know, open. On the top, these are gonna be open. Whenever I sew it onto the body, so that way I can get the thread in and out pretty easily and have like the knots inside of the leg so it isn't showing, and then, you know, close it off later. And then whenever I have all the limbs on it, all the limbs off on it, I'm going to go ahead and stuff the body and then put the head on. I think that's the order I'm going to be doing this. I don't know if there's a better way of doing it, because this is like one of my first times making a stuffed animal. Didn't even try a sock puppet, but that's okay. So, yeah, we still got a few things to do. This arm, yeet it in the trash. Alright, now that you know what to do, I'm going to speed this process up so you can see it in action. Without further ado, let's go! Ta-da! My horrible creature has been brought to life. Holy cow, it is terrible looking. Well, you know, at least I know how to make a toy. That's cool. It just, I don't know, maybe like the disproportionate or something? I don't know. Obviously I know, like, now to not make things so tiny, you know, because like the thumbs never showed up because, you know, I drew them on too tiny, the toes are too tiny so they look weird, and then like the legs, they were the hardest to fold in and out because of the like knee, or I guess like ankle, you know, I had to fight that. But the body and head came out really good, you know, compared to the limbs. I sewed it on, and I think I sewed it on sideways, so it's always looking to the right, or I guess the left if you're, you know, doing it this way. But, you know, let's compare it to my sketch of the, you know, original thing. So you see, like, cartoon version is a lot better looking. Much cleaner, much prettier, you know? Yeah. And obviously the tail is a lot tinier down here than it is here. Made it look like a a gecko of some sort, yeah. But, you know, I did get the joints in so, like, it can move its arm. You know, ta-da. The legs are pretty movable, so that's cool. And then I got, you know, bigger wire for the tail, and, you know, it bends. It's just a little bit, you know. So, yeah. You even got them shark teeth in there. I just kind of, like, wedged them out in, like, a hole. And that's about it. And then I just kind of glued the eyes on. Because the type of fabric I used, it frays really easily. You ever had, like, that really cheap one that just, like, all the pieces just start flying out? Yeah, so I just glued it down instead of trying to sew it. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and bye-bye!